Executive and Keith Rabois has been tweeting his support for this bill, saying he will never fund any Republican candidates or leadership PACs run by Republicans who vote against the TikTok legislation, and that's a vote. Joining us now is Keith Rabois from Corporate Ventures Now. Keith, good to see you. So if it's for sale, do you want to buy TikTok?
I have no interest in buying TikTok. I'm an early stage venture capitalist, which means I fund the first institutional capital that's going into the future of 5, 10, 15 years. The next Airbnb, the next YouTube, the next Stripe, the next Square. I'm really not interested in companies that are at scale right now.
So tell us about your approach here when it comes to political donations, because it seems to me even if you get Republican senators to vote for this, Trump says he's against a TikTok ban. So doesn't that pose a problem for you if Trump wins the election?
Well, there'll be plenty of time for President Biden to sign legislation. He's already promised to do so. So as soon as the Senate votes on this, there's more than 60 votes on the Senate floor to approve this. Chuck Schumer just has to get out of the way. But the Biden administration wants to sign legislation. If it gets delayed, Trump will take it down again. Every single senior person who worked for Trump, from the Secretary of State to the Vice President to the UN Ambassador to the Defense Secretary to the staff, supports banning TikTok. The Treasury Secretary. I don't think there's anybody who works in the Trump administration who believes that Trump is on the right side of history.
So with that in mind, how do you expect this to actually play out? Because I think there's a very strong sense that ByteDance and perhaps the Chinese government by extension is not going to allow this to happen easily. As there could be potentially court challenges if we do see this bill actually make it into law, and that it's certainly not going to sell. And like those algorithms, that proprietary Chinese-based tech and data, as it currently stands, actually fall into the hands of American investors and American companies.
Well, all you need to know is that the Chinese government is interfering with the sale. Almost every single person on the cap table of ByteDance would be thrilled to sell TikTok. They would sell it at fair market value and make a lot of money. The Chinese CCP has no interest in selling their spy tools for any price. That's like literally proof of why we need to force the sale.
I mean, there is the First Amendment argument I'm hearing in terms of the counter. There's also this sense out there that if you see this legislation become a bill, that actually sets a precedent that could perhaps, and maybe some of the other social media companies, like the Metas of the world, are actually concerned about this, that it sets a precedent and opens the door for other countries to draft legislation that is similar and has a similar impact on American social media companies like Meta, like others. How big of a concern or risk is that?
There's no First Amendment argument. That's like ludicrous. I was a constitutional lawyer. I took an appellate court, and I learned constitutional law from Kaufman, Sullivan, Charles Freed, Larry Tribe. That's like ludicrous. First Amendment does not give the Chinese government the right to own any media property in the United States. We banned foreign ownership of TV stations, radio stations, newspapers. This is nothing new. So the ban is just on reciprocal crazy grounds. And the First Amendment people are just like making this up because they basically make money from the CCP.
It's interesting to me that the foreign adversary clause in here really focuses on 4 countries that are already in the category and makes the case for this bill around that. But, I mean, I wonder, should there be doing around foreign adversaries besides just the social media thing that's narrowly tailored to apps that have 1 million monthly active users in it?
I agree. I mean, Iran, Russia, North Korea already subject to significant legislation and significant, basically bans on Americans doing business at all. So we should stop and principles to China. China is an actually China at some point has interest which do threaten our national direct. So I think we need to take the CCP threat posed by China and their use of technology much more seriously. We also need to do conventional things like build a navy that can compete with China. We've sort of been behind. Most then I don't know how we can
I mean, it does speak to how and how AI is in a world where data is going to matter. AI arms race that
economic and military advantage, and we use that race. Now, separate than some of the concerns associated with TikTok. But China's been using and leveraging technology for more than a decade, possibly for 20 years, and we're now finally starting to take switch.
Keith, I wonder how you assess the AI landscape now, because a couple of years ago, before the big GPT explosion and looking at what NVIDIA has done, a popular line was, oh, hey, look, China's going to be because they've got this surveillance apparatus, they've got more than 1 billion people, and a government that's not restrained by civil liberties. But now, the biggest technology, most fast-moving technology companies in the world seem to be U.S.-based. Has the conversation shifted as much as perhaps the reality has?
Well, we don't really know what China's capable of in AI. It's not like published, it's not open. They steal our secrets. We don't really steal theirs very effectively. I wouldn't say crystallized views on